Thinking about moving abroad? Two of the most attractive destinations for expats are Singapore and Australia, but which one is better suited for you? In this video, we compare the two, covering everything from the cost of living to culture, climate, and more. Singapore is consistently ranked among the most expensive cities in the world. Housing costs are especially steep, with limited land and high demand driving up prices for both public and private properties. Even subsidized public housing from the Housing and Development Board can be expensive compared to international standards. Renting is also costly, especially in central areas. Private condos and landed properties are considered luxury and are often out of reach for the average citizen. Owning a car in Singapore is a luxury, thanks to high import duties, registration fees, and the certificate of entitlement, which alone can cost more than a car itself. Fuel prices and road taxes add further to the burden. Parking fees and congestion charges also make car ownership impractical for many. However, public transport is excellent, reliable, and affordable. The MRT system is fast, air-conditioned, and extensive, covering almost every corner of the city-state. Buses are clean and efficient, and payment is streamlined with contactless cards. Taxis and ride-hailing apps like Grab are also widely available and reasonably priced for short distances, which helps ease reliance on private vehicles. In contrast, while Australia isn't a budget destination either, it tends to be more affordable in terms of space and housing. Cities like Melbourne, Brisbane, and Adelaide offer more square footage for the same price, and owning a car is far more feasible. Most Australians drive, and fuel prices are relatively moderate. While public transport exists in major cities, it's not as comprehensive or punctual as Singapore's. Groceries and everyday consumer goods may be cheaper in Australia as well, especially fresh produce, dairy, and meat, due to local agriculture. Sydney can be expensive, but overall the cost of living tends to offer more flexibility, particularly for families. Utility bills including water and electricity are typically lower in Australia than in Singapore, where air conditioning usage can inflate costs. Both Singapore and Australia offer competitive salaries, especially in sectors like finance, healthcare, and tech. Singapore's income tax rates are among the lowest globally, with a top marginal rate of just 22%. This means you get to keep more of what you earn. Corporate tax is also low, making it attractive for multinational companies and entrepreneurs. The country is a business hub, with plenty of opportunities for career advancement, particularly in high-pressure industries such as banking, law, and logistics. Bonuses and performance-based incentives are common in Singaporean companies. Australia, by contrast, has a progressive tax system with rates reaching up to 45% for high earners. While the taxes are higher, you get more in return, such as social security, universal healthcare, and paid parental leave. The minimum wage in Australia is also one of the highest in the world, ensuring a decent standard of living for workers at all levels. Superannuation, retirement savings, is compulsory and employer-funded, offering long-term financial security. Australians enjoy more generous leave entitlements, including annual leave, long service leave, and sick leave. Singapore's work culture is known for being intense, with long hours and high expectations, especially in corporate roles. Overtime is common, and the emphasis on productivity can lead to burnout. There's a strong competitive spirit and pressure to succeed early in life. In contrast, Australia values work-life balance. There's a strong emphasis on fair work conditions, mental health, and spending time with family. Employees are encouraged to take vacations, and remote work options are increasingly common post-pandemic. You'll often hear Aussies joke, "Work to live, not live to work." Singapore's equatorial climate means it's hot and humid year-round with frequent rain showers. Temperatures rarely dip below 25 degrees Celsius, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, and the humidity can be overwhelming, making air conditioning a necessity. There are no seasons, just a perpetual summer with occasional monsoon periods. Thunderstorms are frequent, and haze from regional forest fires can affect air quality during certain months. The weather supports lush greenery, and the city's landscaping is designed to be tropical and vibrant. Australia's climate, however, is incredibly diverse. In the north you'll find tropical weather similar to Singapore, especially in cities like Darwin and Cairns. In the south there are 4 distinct seasons with cool winters and warm summers. Snow falls in alpine regions like Victoria and New South Wales, and Western Australia offers a Mediterranean climate with mild, wet winters and hot, dry summers. Inland areas like the outback are arid and can experience extreme temperatures. Whether you prefer sun, snow, or something in between, Australia has it. This variation allows residents to choose climates that suit their lifestyle, from beach life to snowy retreats. Both countries primarily use English, but the way it's spoken differs. In Singapore, English is one of 4 official languages, and often blends with Malay, Mandarin, and Tamil to form Singlish. It's a local patois full of slang, abbreviations, and code switching that can be confusing to outsiders but charming and efficient to locals. Common phrases like la, can, and no need are peppered into everyday speech. It reflects Singapore's multicultural heritage and is often used in informal settings. Australia has a more familiar Western-style English, though it also comes with a unique set of slang, arvo for afternoon, brekkie for breakfast, and no worries as the all-purpose reply. Communication tends to be more casual and direct, and humor is a big part of everyday interactions. Australians often use sarcasm and self-deprecation in conversations. Despite the laid-back tone, professional communication in business settings remains clear and respectful. Space is a rare commodity in Singapore. Most people live in high-rise public housing, and detached homes are extremely costly. Apartments are compact and built for efficiency. While public spaces are well-maintained, private outdoor space is a luxury few can afford. Developers maximize land use by building vertically, and common facilities like gyms and pools are shared. Home ownership is high due to government support, but it often comes with long mortgages and strict eligibility criteria. Australia offers much more room to breathe. Detached homes with yards are common, even in suburban areas of major cities. Families can enjoy backyard barbecues, pets, and gardening, amenities that are harder to come by in Singapore. Urban sprawl can be an issue with long commutes in some areas, but if you value space, Australia delivers. There's also a wider variety of housing types: townhouses, cottages, and even farmhouses in rural zones. Singapore is compact, clean, and efficient. It has well-planned green areas like Gardens by the Bay, the Botanic Gardens, a UNESCO site, and the Southern Ridges, but outdoor space is limited. The city thrives on urban energy, shopping malls, rooftop bars, and organized entertainment. Nightlife is vibrant, and events like the Singapore Grand Prix and National Day Parade attract global attention. Despite its size, Singapore maintains a high standard of urban living. Australia, on the other hand, is a haven for nature lovers. From the Great Barrier Reef to the Blue Mountains and endless coastline, the country offers every type of natural experience. Outdoor activities like surfing, hiking, skiing, and camping are integral to the Aussie lifestyle. National parks are abundant, and even in cities, nature is never far away. The cultural appreciation for the outdoors is reflected in everyday life, from weekend getaways to lunch breaks in the sun. Wildlife encounters like kangaroos and koalas are also part of the charm. Singapore is world-renowned for its food. The city is a melting pot of Chinese, Malay, Indian, and Western cuisines, with thousands of hawker stalls serving affordable, delicious meals. Dishes like laksa, chicken rice, satay, and char kway teow are everyday staples. Even fine dining is accessible, with several Michelin-starred options available. Food is a national obsession, and locals will travel across the island just to eat their favorite dish. Food courts and late-night eateries make dining out affordable and convenient. Australia's food scene leans more toward Western fare, with a growing focus on fresh, local ingredients. Coffee culture is huge. Melbourne is considered one of the coffee capitals of the world. While meat pies and fish and chips remain staples, multiculturalism has enriched the food landscape with Asian, Middle Eastern, and African influences. Australians are also known for their love of brunch, especially avocado toast, flat whites, and cafe hopping. Farmers markets, organic options, and sustainable food practices are on the rise. Singapore is an incredibly multicultural society, with ethnic Chinese, Malays, Indians, and expats living in close quarters. The city-state actively promotes racial harmony, with policies that encourage integration in housing and education. Religious holidays from multiple faiths are celebrated, and you can see Chinese temples next to mosques and Hindu shrines. Multicultural festivals like Thaipusam and Hari Raya are public celebrations. Schools often teach in bilingual formats, reinforcing the value of linguistic and cultural diversity. Australia is also diverse, with major cities like Sydney and Melbourne home to large immigrant populations. However, multiculturalism in Australia is often more spread out and varies by region. Integration is generally smooth, but there are still social and economic gaps between communities. That said, Aussies are known for being open-minded and welcoming. Immigration programs have brought in skilled workers, students, and refugees from all over the world, enriching the cultural fabric. Events like Harmony Day and multicultural food festivals showcase Australia's diversity. Singapore is arguably one of the safest places in the world. Laws are strictly enforced and the crime rate is extremely low. You can walk alone at night almost anywhere without worry. Cleanliness is also a national priority. Littering and vandalism are punishable by fines or even public service. CCTV surveillance is widespread, and public order is maintained with visible police presence. The streets are spotless, and even chewing gum is restricted to ensure hygiene. Australia is generally safe, but the level of enforcement isn't as strict as Singapore. Urban areas may have pockets with higher crime, especially in larger cities. However, violent crime is relatively rare, and most places are safe to live and travel in. Australia offers more personal freedoms, but with that comes a bit more unpredictability and social messiness. Police forces are approachable and community policing is emphasized. Emergency services are well organized and responsive. Australia provides universal healthcare through Medicare, which covers a wide range of services from GP visits to hospital care. It's funded through taxes and available to all citizens and permanent residents. There are also private options for faster access and elective treatments. Prescription medications are subsidized under the Pharmaceutical Benefits Scheme, reducing out-of-pocket costs. Singapore boasts one of the best healthcare systems in the world, but it's primarily a user-pays model. The system is a mix of government subsidies, mandatory health savings accounts, MediSave, and private insurance. It's fast, efficient, and world-class in quality. But out-of-pocket costs can be high if you're not adequately insured. Hospitals are clean and technologically advanced, and wait times are usually short. Preventative care and health screenings are strongly promoted by the government. So, Singapore or Australia? If you're after fast-paced city life, low taxes, and unbeatable food, Singapore could be your dream. But if wide-open spaces, seasonal climates, and a laid-back lifestyle sound more like you, Australia may be calling. Which one would you choose?